Hello team, another quick fire 5 questions on music production, and today on communication and collaboration. Oh my gosh, what a topic. Firstly, how do you communicate effectively on a session? Listen, the most important thing is what is the vibe? What is the culture of the session? Who are you working with? What's the music that you're working on? These elements influence how you should communicate. I will talk to female pop singers differently to prog metal drummers, depending on who they are. The lexicon we use, the things we talk about, and how we communicate with people is determined by the music. If it's hardcore metal, let's get into it. If it's soft and poppy and folky, then let's be chill. The vibe and the culture informs how you communicate. Number 2, what are aspiring musicians' biggest failures when communicating? I think the biggest thing that aspiring musicians need to think about is it's okay to put yourself out there and to get shit wrong. It happens. Don't be afraid of a social awkwardness. You must confront these conflicts. You must talk to people, and it's okay. You have to get over this to make music with people. 3, do you give feedback or do you just hint at things? Yet again, who am I talking to? What are we discussing? Sometimes if we're in a room and a person needs to be pulled up, you've got to talk to them directly, and sometimes you should do that with just you and them, or perhaps if you need to call them out in a group, then you call them out in a group. But how you say something is more important than what you say. In other words, you're ahead of the beat, bro, or, hey bro, how's it sound to you? Is it a little ahead of the beat? 2 very different ways of communicating, okay? Think about that. Sometimes in front of a group, just say, hey, listen, mate, can you really listen and sit back on the beat? That'd be awesome. If you say that in front of people, they will all listen and perhaps talk to that person about that. Or perhaps you need to just sit beside them quietly and say, hey, listen, when you're playing that part, just make sure you sit back on the beat, eh? Very different. 4, how do you handle creative disagreements? Well, first and foremost, realize that they are so important. You have to have them. Creative conflicts are part of collaboration. You will not make music without conflict. You'll even have conflict in your head. What am I going to do? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should play this part. Conflict is part of making music. First and foremost, be okay when conflict arises. And secondly, don't be scared of confronting that conflict. Yet again, how you confront that conflict depends on the person you're working with. If they're a little bit arrogant, but you've got to be assertive in your constructive feedback. Hey, listen, mate, we need to talk about this part. But if someone's very passive, you may need to nurture them a bit. Yeah, I really value what you're saying, but let's talk about this, you and me, hey? That's how you deal with these things, how you communicate. It's so important. And finally, do you listen more than you speak? Abso-friggin-lutely, bruz. I've got 2 of these and 1 of these. Shout out to my mate Waverly who told me this one. You should listen more than you talk. Make sure that when you do talk, you've got something very cool to say. Love yous. Be careful out there.